Hello and welcome back to Sundays in the Garden. My name is Sarah and on this channel I share all of the things I get up to in my English cottage garden in the United Kingdom. I share weekly gardening vlogs and what to do at different months of the year, seeds to sow at different times of the year. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please consider subscribing so you stay up to date with all of that. Today I am preparing a bed and planting some of my tulip bulbs. So as you can see, the weather isn't really on our side today, but I need to get the bulbs in, so I'm just going to crack on and hope the weather doesn't come down too heavily. The first part of my job here was to dig over the area and get some nice air into the soil because it's been quite compacted in this area and hasn't been planted up for some time. Next, I am raking over the area to try and level it out a bit because it can be quite bumpy, and I found a few large tree roots in there, so I'm going to have to avoid those when I'm planting the bulbs. Next, I'm taking some grit and working it into the soil. Tulips need really good drainage so they don't rot in the soil over winter. This grit should give them the best possible start to cope with whatever winter has to throw at them. Here I'm again working at the soil just to make sure it's nice and level. This year my tulip bulbs are from Farmer Gracy and these are Symbio's pastels, which I really like because they're a slightly different take on the traditional red and yellow tulips because they're a more subtle pastel colour, and I think that they'll look really lovely in the garden. To complement these, we have La Bella Poc, also Farmer Gracy, a beautiful peachy pastel colour, which I think will complement the others perfectly and put on a beautiful display. I'm loosely placing the tulips in rows about 20 centimetres apart. The first row is the mixed pastels and the second row is just the pastel pink variety. And I'm going to repeat this pattern all the way along, and I think it will create a beautiful display. We have nearly 70 bulbs here, so now just the small task of getting them all into the ground. I'm using this bulb planter to plant my bulbs because it creates a hole which is the perfect depth for these tulips, which is about 3 times the depth of the bulb. I remove the soil. The hole is the perfect size to just pop my tulip bulb in with the pointy end facing up and covering it over. Now to repeat the process just a couple more times. All done, just in time for the rain. Squirrels and rodents absolutely love spring bulbs, especially tulip bulbs, so my final job today was to cover the bulbs I've planted with some chicken wire to protect them over the winter. And now we wait for spring.